Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 20 carries, 86 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Well, that's just simply not right. To make that kind of a catch, that spectacular, and not get a first down out of it.
I guess he could put it on his personal highlight reel, however.
Yeah, he'll get the catch, he'll get the yardage, but he doesn't get what he really wants.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now Roethlisberger. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dante Fowler in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling of, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette, and he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
He rifles one that's intercepted. picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski, and that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now the return, Rashad Green. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A big play there. Bortles to lead. 59 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. His pass caught with the 4. His first catch there. Good for 10 yards and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And that's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Green 80.
They'll try to punch it in with Yeldon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And Lambo will put this one through, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And the Steelers set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. His throw incomplete. These two teams had not one but two memorable encounters a year ago. Their first one was Week 5. That's when Ben Roethlisberger threw a handful of interceptions. Jacksonville won big, and then, of course, the Jags, Charles, they doubled down in the playoffs.
Yeah, they beat Pittsburgh again in Pittsburgh, 45-42, to advance to their third AFC Championship game in franchise history. I like what you did there. A handful. 5 interceptions by Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he struggled in that first outing. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end.
Easy.
They'll run it with Bell. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Now he's forced out left. And he's got room. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. Here's Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Calais Campbell in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Roethlisberger over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Miles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. A full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he'll take it down shy the 45 at the 46. 12 yards is the pickup there, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
Bortles going to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And he fires one that's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
Well, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this 1st half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the 1st quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Bortles will try again on 2nd down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And now out come the Steelers. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. A gain of 32 that time. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's...
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, and it's 3rd and short.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing. And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To throw is Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down. Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
380! 380!
They go play action here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Bortles. The open man is Westbrook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now Bortles again. They go with a screen. It's Yeldon. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Green 80. Green 80.
On first down, Bortles. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. That's sort of a 2nd quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a 2nd one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the 2nd.
They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Yannick Ngakoue. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down again. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Green 80.
They begin with a run by Fournette. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Green 80.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Green 80. Green 80.
A final shot before half for Bortles. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff Spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
230.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Roethlisberger now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. To throw again is Roethlisberger. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Yeldon. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Set. Green 80.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Lee's got it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes, and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Green 80. Green is set.
They'll run it again with Yeldon. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Stephon Tuitt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Green 80. Green 80.
Now a play fake. Bortles on the crossing route, complete. That's Lee. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Bortles going to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better that they work on training camp, off-season work, OTAs. But also a lot of these guys have dance backgrounds, ballet backgrounds, and they take that and carry it over to the football field.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss. And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? The other one's helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far. Now Ben on 3rd and long. And the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Calais Campbell in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fielded at about the 28. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Bortles leads the Jags up first and 10 at the 45. Fournette on the counter, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Stephon Tuitt came out at Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On second down, here's Bortles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ballgame now, and he's got a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Bortles now on first down. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there. I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme air. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Switzer now to return. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Roethlisberger. Flush to his right. And the pressure gets to him again. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sack's on back-to-back plays.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he's got Rodgers. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle. He can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Bell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Malik Jackson there to make the stop. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. You gave the stat early on that he's one of just 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards last year, and then you said they needed to bottle him up for under 100 yards. He's way under 100 yards.
Bottom line, he's had virtually no success whatsoever.
And because of that, among a couple other reasons, they're down on the scoreboard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. First carry for James Conner. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They come out here in the eye. Now Bell. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. They get it to him running left. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Back to throw. This is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And some space here. Flushed out right. And avoids the contact by sliding. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Cole. Give him 30 yards there. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
You have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Green 80.
They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. TJ Yeldon, the one he was looking for. And it's second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's a give to Fournette. And now running right through him. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So now the onus will fall on the shoulders of Josh Lambo. And his kick is right there. It's good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
Switzer now to return. Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before.